friends. Welcome to another installment of Contagious Consciousness Conversations presented by the Magic Witnessing Meditation team with Ivan and Lana Rados. I'm your host, Dr. Nick. Thank you for joining us. I know we're a few minutes behind, but we're well worth our wait, as Lana says. Life is always flowing, always happening. And we just want to be as present as we can for you. So, as you know, I'm Dr. Nick. I am the INTRONAUT concierge on this team. I am a former MD who, after a decade of having burnt out, of working my way through different roles and professions, was able to find my own consciousness through coaching, through spirit plant medicine, through breath. But really, it was through the partnership and mentorship with these beautiful two souls, Ivan and Lana Rados, that I was able to start learning about non-duality, start being more of myself, start coming into things. And as you'll see soon, Ivan and Lana are my partners, the beloveds. Ivan is the head healer, he's the maestro, he is a meditation master, world-renowned artist, best-selling author. He is the creator of this magic witnessing meditation ceremony and the wilderness retreat that came recently and the wild Zen, and creating these 2-on-1 ceremonies that we do for people as well if they really want to dive deep, which is something they've done in the last couple of days. And really, he's able to be with clients in all states of consciousness and many planes of reality. So there's many things to talk about always with Ivan. And his beloved Lana, such a gifted psychotherapist specializing in trauma, addictions, relationships, inner children work, psychedelic integration, and just a healer and really a shamanic healer that's budding in her own right. And anyone who's worked with us knows, especially those who've been with us over time, seen her transformation. It's been beautiful. Because we like to say she's been the logical, grounded one, and Yvonne's been the intuitive, head in the clouds one, and they've been bringing together each other into the middle point together. And so together we do the Magic Witnessing Meditation Ceremony. Our next one's September 26th. We're coming back, and we look forward to it. It's a beautiful one-day ceremony that we are now creating as well, some intentional space for breath wave to do some breath journey as well. Beautiful talk always from Eva. Let's see if we come back. All right, it says live on Facebook. My production manager will tell me in a second if I come back. That's the first time that's happened. Who knows what's going on with technology these days? And I apologize for that gap. Zoom decided to crash on me, so we restarted that part. And let's see if this maintains. I did try to do some better audio quality for you, but we'll leave that off for now. We're good? Okay. So yes, the Magic Witnessing Meditation Ceremony. We're back. We've got breath wave. We'll always have a little talk from Ivan and Lana, and it's always spontaneous, from the heart, authentic. A beautiful ceremony with the local spirit plant medicine, forest medicine, and as always, integration is such a key part. We really want people to integrate their experiences before they head home. And what I love is that we come together as strangers and we leave as family. Yvonne always shares that people who journey together, it's not our first lifetime together. So if you're curious, if you have more questions, reach out and we'll be happy to chat more about all this. But for now, without further ado, we're going to bring on Lana and Ivan for some magic. Let's see if this works. Hello, Ivan. Hello, Lana. Yay! We're on live, and you're on mute right now, so I will have to help you unmute. I know. There we go. You should see a button on there to click on. There. Hello.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello.
There's my key.
No.
Maestro needed his tea. Perfect.
Yeah. Are we sharing that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
All
How are you
right.
doing, Nick?
I'm doing beautifully. The technology is interesting. Your connection isn't very robust right now for your Wi-Fi. It's getting better though, so we'll see how it goes. And let's hope that technology works out for us. Yeah, there we go. Everything's working now.
Hmm.
So,
Perfect.
I was just sharing about the beautiful souls that I get to partner with, the two of you, and that we're bringing the Magic Witnessing Meditation Ceremony back. It's coming September 26th, which is beautiful. We're so excited. And today we get to chat about what it's like to return from even a beautiful journey, one that's fulfilling, intense, that has all the integration. We've had this question before, but it's come up, and I thought, what a beautiful time to talk. People who come back and they've gotten everything they wanted, and then they find that the ride back into the 3D world is sometimes a little bumpier than they'd like. And I'd love for you to share a little bit about what you see, how we can help them navigate that world. Yeah.
So I'm just a little bit distracted by the commotion in the room right now. As I can notice. Give me a second. I'll be back.
Please do.
Yeah.
And I guess I could say a little bit, I mean, we've heard from lots of people, but even for myself, I find sometimes I come back from our beautiful wild Zens, Yvonne, and we've just spent 3 days with a man really connecting. And Iris and I, we have a beautiful time that first night. And then the second day, we get into some kind of disagreement. She's like, you just came back from a beautiful time. What's going on? And I didn't know for the longest time why it is I can come back from a beautiful place and then immediately fall back into patterns. So
yeah, I was just talking to our dear friend today, who has done many participated in many medicine journeys, and we were just talking about that, chatting about that. Hundreds, yes. And I said, what Ivan said to me is, the medicine, the journey with medicine has a extraordinary and unsurpassed healing potential. Nothing that we currently know of surpasses that, definitely. It's like, it's so much more powerful than any other form of healing that we know of, including the psychotherapy, and I'm a psychotherapist. And I remember when I was young and I was a student, and my mentor said that, the integrative approach that we were studying, that she finds that the best form of healing, and that she can't imagine anything more powerful than that unless one day they invent something else. And I was thinking, I can't imagine anything better than this, that goes deeper, that people deeper into their attachments, early object relations. And here I am, actually, there is something that goes deeper and it's more powerful. Yet it's not a magic wand. And that's what Ivan says, the medicine will heal a lot in you. It'll go deeper than anything else. It'll really nudge you and guide you and heal you. However, it's not like done deal. You go, you journey passively, and you are like, you live happily ever after, right? Because that would define the purpose of why we are here on this planet. Then we would all be ready to ascend into whatever, another dimension. So what he says is that often the medicine, the journey will bring up something from you, from within you, from the depth of you onto the surface. And no matter how much you do, there's always more to go. There's always, I see Iris. Hello, Iris. There are always deeper layers and deeper to go to heal, right? And so as you do that and you journey, and the more you heal, the more you're ready, the more you're worthy of the medicine and of taking you deeper. And then what happens is, from your underbelly, maybe some anger, unresolved anger, maybe from when you were a baby, surfaces, and you have no idea what it is, because when you were a baby, you have no cognitive concepts of it, nor do you have memory, but it's there, and it surfaces because it wants you to look at it and work on it, because that's your job. That's our job.
And if you work on it, then you will see the change after, when you go into your life, when medicine is not active, when you have to, interact with life. Yeah. So if you don't, then you might have blissful experience and then come back to the same reality that you created for yourself before you enter the medicine journey. Because we all have structure in our mind, what we believe, what we don't, what we allow, what we don't, what we trust, what we don't. All the structure, definitions, theories, thoughts, expectations, desires, the entire dream there, entire story. And then you go into the medicine. What medicine is going to bring you? It's going to bypass the story. The medicine is not interested in your, imagination. And the medicine brings you to your soul, brings you to that vibration of the goodness, of the power, of the happiness, of joy, of some deep understanding of who you are, your purpose, your meaning, the meaning in life, meaning of yourself. It touches the soul. It brings the smile. And you come out of medicine. And then everything is good. But the problem there is the mind is already there. If it's there, because you didn't accept the mind. You didn't work on that mind who created that reality. Now the mind will come back. Because you're going to make choices in your life. Are you making choices out of that beautiful you that you discovered in the medicine? Or are you going to take a choice out of your mind reactive self, which already the story? It's like, I don't want to change anything. I just want to be in that bliss and something miraculous will happen in my life. I healed myself. No, you didn't. You didn't integrate what you healed there. You healed the connection with yourself. You healed that power that was missing there. An attentiveness that you can move that energy and create your life according not to your another stories, but according to the goodness in inside of yourself. And that's what's been missing.
And so the medicine, as Ivan said, brings you on that frequency of your soul, which is joy and peace and bliss and love, compassion and love. So whatever doesn't resonate with that frequency will be brought up if you go deep, if you're opening that channel. And that needs to be looked at and worked on and owned first. Own it, notice it, own it, love it, as we always say. Love everything that comes up about you, even those parts of you that you really dislike. Just tell them, okay, hey, anger, I love you too. Come here in an embrace. It's all part of me. Love it, and it loses its power. Whatever you dislike, any darkness in yourself, don't hate it. We all hate it. That's natural. We all own parts of ourselves that we don't like. We hate. People say, "Oh, I hate this about myself," or "I hate that about myself." What is the personality trait or whatever? But it's the magic is, and the real work happens in loving it. But that doesn't mean letting yourself off the hook in terms of responsibility and accountability. On the contrary, you love it, yet you make a conscious choice that it doesn't serve you, it doesn't serve those around you, and it doesn't assist you in, and it doesn't support you in serving the humanity. So you choose to let go of it and work on how to do that.
Yeah. So the medicine is not miracle. Who is the miracle in all of it?
We are the miracle.
Whether you're going to allow mind to project the reality that you already know and that you are safe in that reality. Even if that reality is very painful. If I ask you, how are you? You will say, good. I mean, there is that kind of, I cannot go more than I am at this moment because I can't imagine anything more than what I'm in this moment. And medicine brings that what's beyond. And you say, wow, but you go back to that dysfunctional reality because it feels more safe.
And that's, yes, that's another thing why people go back. That's actually really, so what you described, like you immediately after the journey, something came up. And instead of coming all open heart, blissful, full of love, you're all irritable. That's what we were referring to.
I like, excuse me for interrupting you, but I like people after the ceremony where they become irritable. I like it. If they are conscious of their irritability, because there is a really, really profound healing there.
Yeah.
You know? Or people with headaches after the ceremony, so for days. And that means there is a really profound change there, energetic change. Now, now it's up to you whether you are
synaptic reboot.
Exactly. But it's you who is driving the outcome of it with your consciousness. Are you in fear or are you in love? Sorry, Lana.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay, Hannah. Of course, you're always allowed to interrupt me. Say that because you will do it anyway, so might as well love it.
Might as well love it.
I'm taking revenge because, recently she, just got me out of my meditation because whatever she needed, something important for her, but not for me at that point. Really juicy.
What I wanted to say is that what Ivan now really touched upon is a different phenomenon, and that is when you emerge out of the journey in that beautiful, blissful state where you had profound experiences of direct experience of the oneness of the divine, of you as part of it all. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah,
it really doesn't. And you feel like you are healed. You feel like, if you used to be depressed, the depression is not there anymore. It's just pure joy and peace and ease. Or like some people, for example, that I met used to have extreme anxiety, social anxiety, and they feel like so open, they're talking to everyone. Or people with some personality traits, personality disorder traits, and they're different, they have different presence, they're authentic, and they feel authentic, and they appear authentic, and they truly are. However, a couple of weeks later to a couple of months within that period, something just gets lost. I see Iris's arm again. How is she appearing from that? That's magic.
It's magic. It's magic in the background, just reminding you to be distracted.
And I don't mind. It helps me to focus more. So, by the way, when I was little, I used to study amongst my mom and her friends, chatting, because that helped me focus, that distraction. That's a little bit of ADD there, but it worked. So, and I always understood why people go to Starbucks to study and not to the library. Libraries scared me. Right? Anyway, to go back to the... So what happens is, little by little, the traces of the medicine, the spirit of the medicine, the information of the medicine dissolves and leaves us, right? There's some primordial information stays always there. Some kind of, let's call it naturopathic kind of quantity will always stay in us when we take a medicine forever. But it's not enough anymore, because the pool of the dysfunctional that comes from the wounded self, reactive self, is too strong, much stronger than that. And so people then start falling back into the old patterns. And I've seen it even recently. I worked with a couple of people who have participated in several beautiful different medicine ceremonies, felt amazing, felt exactly this, their lives changed entirely. 2 months later, they're calling me and saying, what's wrong? Does this mean I have to go every 2 months to do this? And what's wrong is there was a lack of what we call integration. That's
the integration is not just listening, the input. Integration is integrating into your life, meaning being attentive every single moment and always coming from that goodness that you discovered during the medicine. And that kind of epiphany, some kind of bliss. And then bringing that bliss into every equation, into every situation, and not acting out of your reactive self, but, relating to the moment with your compassionate heart, with that beauty that you discovered. But we have to be reminded on that. That's the self-work. That's the meditation, reminding yourself, or reminding yourself to remember to pay attention to yourself at that particular moment when your mind is taking over, wanting to take over, to go into that old dysfunctional self.
You're absolutely right. That's our own responsibility, our own work. We all have to do that for ourselves. But let's face it, it's very hard, and for some people impossible to do this work alone. I think it's impossible for everyone to do this work fully alone. Mm-hmm. We are relationally designed for a reason. Our basic design is to be relational. We seek relationships from the moment we are born.
Yeah.
Right? And
but also that implies that we build that absolutely incredibly stronger than any cement, any glue, anything stronger than the universe is the bond with our mind. And that's where the dysfunctionality is, because you are giving power to the mind to operate you, and that's the problem. So in the medicine, we have to address the mind in its own structure in order to, understand its own mechanism and melt within heart. Or you can bypass the mind, melt into the heart, and then, it's like skip the mind, but the mind will come again later.
Yeah, it's tricky. It's a trickster. But what I wanted to say is, and I agree fully with that, and what I wanted to say is that it's really difficult to do this alone, because we are relational and we need somebody to hold a mirror for us, mm-hmm. and to see what we're doing, where we're at, and what's going on, and to help us understand, to help us make sense, and to help us navigate through that. And that's where, that's why actually, in my opinion, that's the best place for psychotherapy. Like just before going on a medicine journey, to
just after
crystallize attention and what one wants to work on, and after that for a while to keep, because things will keep popping up, and to have actually professional help. And it doesn't have to be just psychotherapy. In our group integrations, like with Ivan and Unique and myself, we combine our wisdom and our own knowledge and our own different backgrounds and practices, and provide psychotherapeutic and spiritual and medical, all of that together. Intuitive, which is spiritual, that's what I meant.
Is like,
psychic, whatever you want to call it.
I don't know, but I know if that resonates with you. So,
And that's why we've been talking about now, going back, obviously everything was stopped because of COVID, but it's really essential now, as we are starting to, as we are restarting to run ceremonies, that we need to restart running our integration groups. And we absolutely invite everyone to come to those, because
you need to remind yourself to remember.
Because otherwise, the bliss doesn't last. It requires work, and we are here for you to help you with that work.
Yeah, you need to make a deep dive into your heart, but you have to make a peace with your mind.
Yeah.
And then the journey will be completed.
Yeah. And that's not an easy process. That's
it's not.
Takes lots of work.
Yeah, it's not. You know why it's not easy?
No.
Because of resistance. We've seen that in ceremonies. Yeah. Did we, Dr. Nick?
Yeah.
We have, and come back to the resistance in a second. I want to remind people out there of what we're talking about, because we've gone on for about 15 minutes. It's been beautiful, very in depth. And I think what I'll remind people is, if you're feeling a little confused, it's because your mind is telling you, we need to watch this again. I'm going to summarize a little bit, but what Ivan and Lana just talked about is actually really, it's gold. So listen to this again. But they've really defined why we call it magic witnessing meditation ceremony. The magic from the medicine itself, and this is a very simplified version of what you guys just said, the witnessing, really bringing the awareness into things. And I love that awareness piece, bring everything into consciousness, because when you do that, You bring into awareness not just the bliss, but also all the challenges. You bring into the awareness when you're triggered. And that may be part of it, is when you come home, you actually get more triggered or have more headaches. Why Yvonne's like, I'm actually thrilled about that, is because you're actually bringing your awareness into it. This may have been happening before, but you stayed unconscious, as opposed to now you're conscious. It feels worse, but it's because you're actually conscious of what's going on, which means you have a choice. And that's what I love about it. Once we get to this stage and we awaken ourselves, we now have choices, as opposed to before we were just doing things unconsciously.
I agree.
And
It's
why?
all choices.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that meditation piece, because you just gave me an idea, is that Yvonne is a meditation maestro. I do breath, Lana does psychotherapy, but I see almost, and this is coming up right now, and I'm going to put this out live, is that in our new integration ceremonies, or new post-ceremony integrations, because we need to reintegrate. Like, even if you've had a great integration ceremony after integration after ceremony, it doesn't mean 2 or 3 weeks later you don't need another integration, because more things have been triggered, more things have come up. And I think one of the spaces we're going to create is whether we're going to start with Yvonne's meditation or my breath, something to get us back into connection with our hearts first. And then let's integrate from there, because sometimes we come back and we're so in our heads, all we can do is talk about the details, as opposed to feel into what it is that's going on. To be reminded that when we feel like we've got headaches all the time, that things have gotten worse, they haven't. We've just gotten more aware of what's actually there.
Yeah.
And the last piece, Lana, you really shared, is loving everything, is loving the triggers as well. When you come back to the 3D world, it's not just loving the ceremony you're at that was beautiful. It's loving these people that are here in your life that you've chosen to put in your life to trigger you, so that you can actually grow, so that there's something more to integrate too.
Absolutely. Yes. Loving them and cultivating gratitude, because that's where the real change happens. And I think we run over time, well over time. I have a client.
No. Oh, you have a client.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's 7:42, so it's probably about time to start wrapping.
Yeah, it's like wrap it up. Let's summarize.
So I've summarized that part. What would you like to wrap up before your client?
You really, that's why I was thinking it's perfect timing too. Not only because of the, time, but because you really summarized this beautifully. Thank you. It's fun. And even if people missed all of this and just got that part, that's perfect. Thank you.
Thank you too for being here today. Thank you, Yvonne, for bringing up resistance. You've given us a little trigger and a little taste for people of what we're going to talk about next time, or one of these future times, because resistance is a big part of this. Have an amazing, I know that you guys are going to go off again for a few days because you need more time in nature. Remind everyone out there to take time for yourselves, especially if you've done some deep work recently. Take some time for yourselves, and we will see you again next week.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much. All right, let's see here. Thank you everyone for being here with us today. As always, Yvonne and Lana, the depths that they talk about, please do rewatch, because there's so many nuances that are there that have taken me a long time to understand more fully. I was actually rereading my journal from November of last year after having done a ceremony with Yvonne and Lana. And it's funny because in the journal I wrote, I am a failure afterwards. And my second most recent journey last month, I had the same thought come up, and I realized, oh, this is just a repeating pattern, and I finally started to notice it. These are the stories in the background that I've been unconscious of. And until you're conscious of it, you can't actually choose. So recognize that when you do the work, more things may feel like they're coming up, but it's that you have more awareness and more choice now. So, upcoming, there's so many changes coming in the INTRONAUT team, the Magic Witnessing Meditation team. First of all, keep an eye on our website. There will be some major changes coming up in the next couple of weeks. We're going to be having a ceremony every month in town on Saturdays. The next one is September 26th, and then the one after that's October 31st. We'll be posting the dates soon. At this point, still reach out to myself, concierge@intronaut.com, to reserve your spot. to fill out all the things that you need to fill out. There's some prep work to be done to get yourself as ready as possible. Like Lana says, we want to take this valuable time beforehand to get you prepared for your dive in, and we want to support you in your dive out. Let's see here. Know that there are opportunities to work with all of us. Lana, with her psychotherapeutic work, she has lots of clients, but she's always willing to make room for people who want to work in their own consciousness. So please reach out to her, info@lanarados.com. Ivan is doing his global distance healing, his one-on-one healing. Reach out to him if you're looking for personalized healing, or if you need some personalized integration as well. So info@ivanrados.com. And then myself, if you're looking for Breathwave to integrate, I have a breath of fresh air. We do it outdoors, or we can come to your place and do it directly in your home. So do reach out, concierge@intronaut.com. Would love to breathe with you. And then the things that we're offering right now as well. Ivan and Lana just did a 2-on-1 ceremony for someone who wanted to go on a really deep dive, and know that that's possible. Know that if you're looking to create a small group wherever you are in the Lower Mainland, we'd be happy to create one and even come to you. So reach out for that. And Wild Zen, for those men who are looking to take the deepest dive for themselves, 3 days out in the wilderness with Ivan and myself. Please reach out. That's something you've seen. We've recently had on Curtis and Matt, who've spoken about their experiences. And it really is thrilling, and it really is a challenge too. Yvonne and I usually take a day or two off afterwards just to regain our own energy, because it takes a lot of energetic work to clear these old triggers, these past traumas, to heal those wounds. So know that we are here for you. We love you. We know right now that the times are challenging. Please be with it all. Be that beacon of light for yourself first, because when you're doing that for yourself, then you can actually be there for others.